ever.
Is that hilarious? And here I am talking about whatever. So you have an intern who's obsessed with wrestling?
Yeah.
I was in a very famous wrestling movie. I can't remember what it was called. That's how old I am. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I have a 4-year-old daughter. Once your child is born, once you have a baby, they're like, here's your baby. Oh, excuse me, I have to press the delete button on anything that's ever happened to you before that you don't remember anything. Whenever I walk in a room, I can't remember why I walked in that room, but I always think there's going to be a clue in the fridge. Like, what's happening? Oh, I'm having a sandwich. I was supposed to call my mother. Arrow, how did you get your name?
It's actually created from my first wife. It was a character in a book.
It's created from your first wife?
Yeah.
You are so crunchy granola. I love it. How did you get your name? What did she call you prior to creating your name?
Oh, man.
Pre-Arrow.
Let me show you my license because I can't say this name. I absolutely can't say that.
Well, don't worry. I don't have my reading glasses on, so it could be Robert Redford. Your name is Clarence?
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that horrible?
This doesn't look like you at all in this picture.
Yeah.
You look way thinner now.
Yeah. Do you see the meatloaf now?
No, you're adorable, but you look like Eddie Albert Jr. and Patrick Swayze had a baby in a strange twist of biological magic that they were able to conceive and then have this baby.
More importantly, do I look like a Montanan/Canadian?
You look Canadian.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I grew up.
How close to the border were you?
All the time. We were up there in Havre and all that kind of stuff, Kalispell, Glacier, and all that stuff. So we used to watch CJOC out of Edmonton.
Okay, first of all, I, as a Canadian, have no idea what any of the shows you just mentioned were, nor do I know what CJOC is, and I've been to Edmonton once in my entire life. But that was really sweet. You're like, yeah, I did a film up in Canada.
Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan. It's just Saskatchewan, but I like that you put a little sass in it. Saskatchewan! You made it sound like way more exciting than it was. It's just Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan. It's, there's a city up there called... Regina.
That's it. You're reading my mind.
I'm reading. Oh, how typical. A man is thinking of Regina. And look at me. Call me psychic. Wow. I bet there's men all over the world right now thinking of Regina. There's a place called Regina, Saskatchewan. Mm-hmm. And when you're a kid and you learn this in Canadian school, you just think that's the most hilarious day of your life. You're like 12 years old and you're like, there's a city called Regina. Like, we just think that's so funny. So my daughter, at about age 3, she's very articulate. My mother is my daughter was 3 and my mom is close to 80. So I need the combo stroller wheelchair because my they're in opposite directions, and I'm constantly being pulled apart by the two of them. So my mom is quite hard of hearing. She's brilliant, but she's quite hard of hearing. So you have to remember, Regina is in Saskatchewan. Little backstory. My daughter comes up to me and she says, Mommy, is it fudgina or pagina for her particular body part? And my mother screams from the bedroom, it's in Saskatchewan. Isn't that hilarious? All right. I had to explain a lot to get to that story, but
I totally get that because I used to do the commercial for the hockey team up there. It was the Billings Bighorns, and we always took on Regina. So I would always go, Regina, just so I could say it on the radio.
That's hilarious. How about your sweet little Cancer personality just became possessed by the guy who, that's the craziest thing. Say it like that again. Do the Regina. Wow. So that is so crazy. How did you even know that person lurked inside you with that kind voice? I feel like you're going to pull out a guitar and sing Simon and Garfunkel, but then you're Regina. That's amazing. You're like the wrestling guy.
I do wrestling commercials.
You do?
I do. You want me to play you one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm going to play the latest one that I just did for the...
Or you could reenact it since it's actually you and you're here. But playing me one is fine. That's good. Live would have been nice.
You want me to do one live?
Yeah.
All right, hang on. Let me grab his script.
Okay, and then pretend I'm going to be like WrestleMania. Okay, so what'll my wrestling name be? What? Regina.
You're going to be Regina?
Regina
okay.
X.
Okay.
Because then that make me the queen of Regina? That was really good. I like that. Thank you.
So you're Regina X?
I'm Regina X, and I'm going to, what's your wrestling name?
What can I do? The
Giant Pussy.
All right, we'll go the Giant Pussy takes
Okay,
on
good.
Regina X, all right?
Yeah, all right.
Saturday, April 27th, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, Super Brawl, Martinsville Middle School, Martinsville, Virginia. Scheduled to appear, Super Pussy, taking on Regina X.
That was so good. That I can't believe you can do that.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Sick.
You must have scared your parents when you were a kid. Give me the food now! It's like, oh my gosh, our child's possessed, or he's going to do wrestling commercials one day. Those are the two choices. Wow. That's impressive. No, honestly, how did you know you could do that? Because you have like a gentle voice.
I think what it is just impersonating people.
Okay.
To where, you have all different actors that'll impersonate other actors. Right. And what happened was I was going to do a job in San Francisco. And the guy hires me. He's ready to go. And then the consultant called and goes, hey, give me some of your characters. So I start impersonating these people. He goes, no, that's an impersonation. I need characters. And all of a sudden, my mind opened up. And so when people say they hear my voice everywhere, that's not true. I'm impersonating other people. So they just think I'm everywhere.
Oh, that's so funny. So can you do everybody?
No, not anymore. I mean,
I can do Brett Butler and President Clinton.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's the same impression.
Oh.
But it's a really, or I can do an impression of, this is what I always say on stage, I can do an impression of any animal in the world, seriously, who smokes too much. That's my impression. Ask me for any animal.
Let's go.
No, can't do that. I really can do a chicken. Okay, that's a chicken who coughs too much. Smokes too much. All right, here's my impression. Well, Brett Butler shouldn't live here, does she?
No.
Okay. It's very similar to the president. Okay, I have to get down to that register. Hey, Caroline, how are you? Yeah, okay. Well, no, that sounds too much like Clinton, who I met, by the way. I performed for him. Just stand up. And he couldn't get to all of it. But President Clinton came over to me and goes, Caroline, I got to tell you, you are really funny. You are so funny. And I said, no, it sounded like Brett Butler. And I said, thank you so much. And he said, I think you have the hardest job in the world. I said, Mr. President, I think your job is slightly harder. And then I said, but we're both afraid of bombing. And then I was like, why did I say that? No. It's just like the words were hanging there. I was like, oh, take it back. Oh, anyway. No, Brett Butler and I had the same managers 20-something years ago.
Okay.
And they were Australian. And they would, like, the Aussies, they go way up, right? And everything sounds like a question when they're talking. So you never know if they've ever finished talking. And you'd be like, where are you from? Sydney? And you're like, are you from Sydney or not? It sounds like you're asking me. Where are you from? Melbourne? Are you? I don't know. Like, and when you get on the airplane, they're like, they go, how you going? And I'm like, I'm going by airplane. How are you going? Because I feel uncomfortable if we don't even know how we're going. Anyway, I would call up my managers and they would be like, and I would pretend I was Brett and I'd be like, hey, it's Brett. Listen, y'all, I really don't want you to represent Caroline anymore because she's nothing but like a dumb blonde and I think I'm way funnier and I really don't like you. Anyway, and they go, no, Brett, we won't represent it all anymore. No, and I go, it's me, you idiots. How many times am I going to do this? Like every day I do this and every day you go, no, Brett, it's fine. And I'm like, it's me. Anyway. Apparently my brain just spilled that out from some other past memory. I don't know what.
My favorite impersonation is, hello again. I'm Casey Kasem from American Top 40. And now, that long-distance dedication. Dear Casey.
That is excellent. See, the cancers are lunatics, but they have weird, cool skill sets.
Really weird.
Really weird. Yeah, really weird.
That's why there's so much junk in this room.
There's not. Okay, I did a video, that's how long ago it was, with the Muppets.
Wow.
It was very exciting. It was Elmo, and it was no, it wasn't Kermit. Although I did do a show with Kermit. While I was there, you're an over actor when the Muppets say, "Okay, bring it down. Try and keep it real." Seriously, we're Muppets. We're not like this over the top. But it was so exciting.
Were you talking directly to them, knowing that the person was hidden away?
They're not hidden away. You're looking directly at the puppet, and you're looking at the puppeteer, and you're still talking to the puppet. Kevin Clash is a genius who does Elmo, and you're looking at Kevin, and he says, hi, Caroline, as Elmo, and you're like, hi, Elmo, and you're immediately 3 years old. My daughter was so obsessed with Elmo. At one point, she called me Mummo. That was like her biggest gesture of love. And I showed her the video of me with Elmo, and she goes, Mummy knows Elmo.
So now you're a superstar.
Yeah, I'm a superstar.
God, man.
Oh, sorry, my back is killing me.
So did you just fly in? I mean, what's got you tired?
What's got me tired? I walked down 14 flights of stairs today in the fake fire alarm, holding my 49-pound daughter in my arms, feeling very bionic. And then I got to the bottom and I was like, Starbucks! That's all I wanted. I'm just tired.
You just need some Southern barbecue.
Do you have children?
I have. I can't believe it. My stepdaughter is 34, so I'm already into the grandkids.
It's insane. But anytime you leave New York, especially in the South, they're like, you had a baby when you were 44. How's that possible? I'm my first when I was 17, and they had their kids when they were 16, and now we have 14 grandchildren, and they have 14 great-grandchildren, and I'm 34. You're like, yeah. People ask me. Yeah, I had my daughter when I was 44. Which is weird because I'm 38 now. So it is so weird. But it happens. And tomorrow I'll be 39. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah. I'll be
Do you
39.
really celebrate birthdays still?
Of course I do. I have a 4-year-old.
Oh.
What do you think? I'm like, I'm sorry, Mommy's too old. No cake and celebration. Do you really celebrate birthdays anymore? Yeah, you're 50. You're not 100. You should be happy to be alive. Of course I celebrate them. I don't tell her how old I am. She thinks I'm 7. Hopefully she's not listening right now. I do. I haven't told her how old I am. I have about 1 more year to destroy the internet so she can't Google me.
You know, being from Canada, did you grow up listening to Bryan Adams?
Of course I did. He played at my college, my university, whatever, winter gala.
Really? So he was just Bryan?
I saw Bryan Adams play in front of about 20 people in Montreal when he first started. He's got a beautiful voice. Mm-hmm. Beautiful voice. Yeah. Why do you love him?
Well, you have to. I came from the 80s. Yeah, you got to like Bryan Adams. That's just part of the nature of the beast.
You came from the 70s.
No.
You're lying to people.
No.
You came from the 70s.
You base your life on when your child was born. Well, my child was born in 1979. Radio, the career. So everything is based on, I know where I was when that song came out. Oh, man, that radio station. Boy, they got a real dick for a boss. Well, I was... So do you...
Of course, you're as old as your career.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
find yourself the same with comedy?
You know what? I swear, I feel like I'm on some crazy loop, as I said, due to poor investments. But I never thought I would still love doing what I do this far along. Like, this is my 24th year of doing this. The last time I was in Charlotte I used to do a ton of college, but I think it was like 1993 I was in Charlotte doing stand-up for the first time. It's crazy.
You were over Independence Boulevard then?
Where was I?
The Comedy Zone at Independence Boulevard? Yeah.
It was massive. It was like an arc.
Yeah.
Of some kind. It was totally giant. Yeah. Have you been here this whole time?
Yeah, 28 years. I came here for 2 years, and I can't leave. I mean, every time I get
You know why? Because you're a Cancer, and you can't stand change. And then, if anything, you'll go sideways. But you will not go forward. Oh, you Cancers. You drive me crazy. My boyfriend was a Cancer, and I'm an Aries. And they're like fire and water. You know what? It gets steamed crab, which not everybody enjoys. That's what it gets. Steamed, boiled crab. Are you good at decision making?
No.
Oh, it's the worst.
So that's why I hire people to make decisions for me.
No, you should. That was a good choice. That was the best decision you ever made.
Then that's why I'm the good guy all the time.
Oh, yeah, because you have to be, because you're little kittens. Why do you have all of these puppets here?
Well, the reason why is because when clients come in, the first thing I want them to do is to forget they're in a radio station.
I think they do. I think you've completely given that away. I love that you have a 45 up there.
Yeah, that's my 70s coming out in me.
Remember Crocodile Rock? That was my first.
I do. My neighbors. I
had all mine. I wish I'd kept them. Could have used them as coasters, of course, because of technology.
Or a Frisbee.
There you go.
We used to stand outside the radio station.
Maybe I'll have 100-year-old people come to my show tonight the way I'm talking about it. And if you're very old, please come out and see me tonight before you retire at 8 a.m. No.
But it's a cool thing, though, 45s and albums again, because the sales are up, and that's part of this.
They have 45s and albums again?
Oh, yeah.
What do they play them on?
Yeah. Well, they've got the turntables, which you can get at the Radio Shacks and the Best Buys and stuff now. And so there's such a resurgence of vinyl right now. Neil Young is one of the biggest people pushing that because he's made it cool to have vinyl parties. And that's the big
Neil
thing.
Young is in Neil Young?
Yeah.
Vinyl parties, what are those?
If you're coming to the party, bring an album. We're going to sit here and listen to albums. We're going to listen to real 45s, no iPods, no iPhones, nothing. It has to be an album.
That's amazing. I call it my crypod because it's just Adele. Over and over again. I had my heart broken and I listened to Adele, Someone Like You. I played it so many times in a row. The couple below me broke up. It was just... I hooked you in! I have to go because I'm going to pass out. I need some coffee. Or you can give me coffee. Those are the choices. Could I be more of an Aries, more demanding?
I love that. Yeah, but see, that's what makes you cool. That's totally Canadian, totally blonde, totally you.
Totally Canadian and totally blonde don't really go together.
Okay.
Sorry. What?
You're just black or
Anything in the donut? Is that what I just said? Apparently, I'd like a donut in the coffee. Anything in the coffee? Eggs? Do you have eggs in the coffee?
no. Okay. I mean, if you want one, I'll gladly throw one in there, but I don't think you want one.
No. Just maybe a cup of tea.
Oh, we got tea back there.
Tea.
Yeah,
What
we do.
kind of tea?
We do.
We got green tea, orange tea, purple tea, pink tea.
I think you're lying. I'd like
No,
green tea.
we have a good selection of tea.
Green tea, please.
Yes, ma'am. Sugar.
Don't call me ma'am. It's Southern for no longer hot, and I can't take it.
Oh no!
Hate that. Yes, dear. Thanks. Make me 900 years old. That's great too. Okay, Sonny. Anytime you got that, that'd be great. Junior.
The intern's working for you.
I can't believe nobody's ever told you that you look like Eddie Albert.
Man, I'm gonna have to put that up there now. That's what I love about the internet is that you can put stuff like up there, and I treat it like a radio show, and people react from Russia, South Korea. That's why I'm really pissed off that the North Korean guy wants to blow everybody up because I've got 137 listeners in South Korea. Don't be touching my listeners.
Okay, this is the most hilarious thing. You want him to not attack because of your listeners. That is a level of narcissism that is only found within the Cancer sign. I have 137 listeners. I know mankind is involved and may be affected in some way, but what if my listeners are hurt? Wow. Okay. Now, how many listeners do you have in, say, Thailand?
I'd have to go in there and do the research and stuff, but definitely Russia and Germany are my two biggest.
So everywhere else is free to be bombed?
That's right.
You don't have a care in the world about that? Why?
Nah, New Jersey, we're fine.
Why do you have listeners in Russia? How is this possible? Does this mean that people in Russia right now are listening to us?
They will.
Okay.
They will, and that's the whole.
It means kiss me a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, let me write that down. What is that again?
Putzeliaminya? I think that's what it is. Putzeliaminya? I think.
I like that.
Well, I don't understand. How are you reaching people through the internet?
Social media. I play the game.
Oh, you do?
And as a broadcaster, I look at.
Are you a tweeter?
Sure. Absolutely.
How many followers do you have?
It's a game. And so I never really go that route. In other words, people go, you know all these people? No. It's collecting them so that I can broadcast to them. For the first time ever in the history of broadcasting, up until about 10 years ago, we were the followers. Now we're the leaders. So that 15, 20 years from now, they can say, man, back in 2013, this is how they set the standard.
You are so intensely sweet and crazy.
Totally Cancer.
Completely a Cancer. Now that I like everything about you. My Cancer man is a broadcaster too.
Is
Thank
he
you very
really?
much. Yeah, he is.
Radio guy or TV?
Radio guy.
Really?
Yeah. Radio guy.
How does he feel about salespeople?
I make fun. I'm not crazy. I make fun of him. He's the morning man, so he's got like crazy hours. So I make fun of him that he gets so tired. Like this is him tired as an interview. So just say like anything, and I'll do it. Him being interviewed.
So I'm doing an interview?
Yeah, just make a statement, and I'll do an impression of him interviewing.
Man, I had to get up and walk down the steps because there was a false alarm at the hotel.
There was a false alarm at the hotel, and you had to walk down steps. Is that correct? I'm like, could you not just review what they say and then ask a question? It's like somebody doing like, you're back, my little friend. I want to know about your intern.
I'm not an intern.
Well, you just said he was an intern.
No, not this guy. This guy's already got a job in radio. So
you're a grown up.
I am a grown up.
How old are you?
I'll be 29 next month.
You're 29?
I did 8.5 years in the Marine Corps, and then I decided to do radio. So
Okay, first of all, I asked him that he was an intern, and then he's just said to me he did 8.5 years in the Marine Corps. You are hardcore.
Thank you.
Hardcore. Good for you. Did you have to go and see active duty?
I did 3 tours Iraq, and then I did 1 Haiti relief thing.
There's like an accomplished adult human being disguised as a child in the room while the two of us are talking about Canada and stupid things. This boy has already been and seen the world.
And that's why I keep asking him, why does he want to do radio? This is so compared to what he's done.
Well, not according to you. There's 137 people in South Korea who are counting on your every word. So maybe it's just as important, okay, Eric? I did a show in Guantanamo Bay last year.
Wow.
Was there anybody there?
Was there anybody there? Yes, thank you for asking. I have 117 listeners in Guantanamo Bay. I got them off of Arrow's list. I friended them because we were friends. No, I went and did a show for the troops in Guantanamo Bay. And my agent texts me and she goes, do you want to do a show in Guantanamo? And I'm like, for which side? It's kind of important. But when I flew, you fly down on like a cargo plane. And I just remember it said, no smoking in lavatory. And I was like, it should really say, no lavatory in lavatory. It was just, oh my God, it was crazy. But good for you. So 8.5 years. Stop calling me ma'am. You're a lovely person. Don't call me ma'am. I know that you're just trying to be polite, but it's so awful. Hottie McHottie is good. Aunt Hilda, I will always answer to. Aunt Hilda, you must have watched Sabrina. You're of the right age. Linda Flynn Fletcher.
I'm not going to call you that.
I'm Lindana. You can call me Lindana.
Okay. Yes,
Lindana. Thank you. That's much better. Okay.
Why aren't you doing your own radio show?
I thought I was.
I mean, in this age of satellite radio and podcasting and stuff like that, I mean, you could actually be getting those people in South Korea.
You would do a market share with me over the people in South Korea? You know what? I am very lucky. I had a daughter, like I said, I gave birth at 44, and there's nothing that's more important or interesting to me than being with her. And I love doing all this, and I love doing stand-up because I really do honestly get such a kick out of it. Mm-hmm. But there's nothing that I want to commit to more than her until she's older.
Isn't that a great feeling to look in her eyes and see you? Do you see yourself growing back up?
No, I see her father, who I wish would grow up. So, no, she looks a lot like her dad. It's really fun being that age again on some level. Absolutely. Like, all my friends are having midlife crises, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a divorce, and my parents are sick, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, can you call me back? I'm coloring. Okay. And then we're watching Max and Ruby. So if you could call back in like half an hour, that would be great. It's like a huge gift to have like a little miracle baby in your 40s.
You've actually gone from two different acts of selflessness. You give your comedy, you share your art of communicating with an audience that you don't know, selflessness, and now you have a child, selflessness. You're like a walking angel.
Was
that totally cancer?
First of all, you are such a cancer. You should come with a box of Kleenex. You are just the most sensitive. You're all about your emotions. You know what? Motherhood it's about being boss. That's what it is. My daughter, when she was little, she had the personality of a Russian gymnastics coach. No matter what I would do or say, she was like this. Again. I'm like, I don't want to read this book again. I don't think you're selfless. I think I'm very lucky. I don't ever, no, I'm going to sound like a nut. I don't ever feel like anybody in the audience is a stranger. I think it's what we have in common that makes it interesting.
Yeah.
I had to follow George Bush Sr. once to a group of like Republican women. And let's just say we were not on the same page in that way. And I thought, I am going to bomb so badly. And it was one of my favorite shows ever because it's, we have way more in common than we think. It doesn't matter about your politics or whatever. So that's what I think is interesting about doing stand-up.
And
I got very serious and very boring and blah, 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 blah. That's why vote for me.
It's kind of, in my first book, I wrote that comedy doesn't exist. The reason why is because it's the art of salesmanship. You just kind of said that.
Wow.
It is
I did?
Yeah, because you said that you have
I think it's the art of connecting.
Connecting?
Right.
So,
I think it's the art of connecting, and then both, and then, I am clearly, like, people always, after so many years of doing this, people are like, well, describe your act. And I'm like, I really can't. I think I'm pretty organic. I always feel like I'm having a dinner party, and these are my guests, and what we're going to serve is what we make together, because it's going to be whatever the audience is. But truly, this happened, and it was a guy in the audience. He got every joke that I said, every innuendo, and I said at the end of the show, sir, you're my favorite audience member I've ever had. You're the best audience member. You got every joke. Where are you from? And he said, I don't speak English. And I was like, oh, my God. And then he said, but you're funny like a clown. Like a clown. And I was like, wow, so that's what I'm like. I'm funny like a clown. So.
His hidden background that he won't talk about is he's studying comedy.
Who is?
I do some stuff at the Comedy Zone every now and then.
You do?
Yes, ma'am.
So what would you?
Yeah,
Lindana.
I just call you Aunt Hilda.
So 8.5 years in the Marine Corps, and now in radio, but you really want to be a comedian?
You can combine all that into one. You can do comedy and radio at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm just like reviewing, thinking like you probably had great discipline in the Marine Corps. Comedy is, it's brutal. It's a strangely brutal thing because until you're really comfortable doing it, you have to embrace all of it. It's like life. There's really no good or bad. It's just all experience, right? So you can't go, oh, that was awful. It's just like but it's like a muscle. You have to practice it and get on stage I think I did 500 shows a year for years.
Wow.
Just getting on stage all the time and then talking.
I share my time between radio, comedy, and poker, and that's my...
Radio, comedy, and poker. Do we have a baby together? This sounds so familiar.
Not that I know of. If I should know soon.
You do. You sound. That's exactly like Kostaki. Kostaki does the radio and he plays poker and does comedy.
Kevin Pollock did too, and he's one of my...
Kevin Pollock's a poker player too. I was totally making fun of people playing poker. I always saw their tells immediately when I was watching them. I could, I was so. And then the first time I was ever in a poker tournament and I was dealt pocket aces, I was like this. How much do I bet? Is it my turn? Oh my gosh, is it my turn? Like you can't contain yourself. I don't know how you do it. And what's your birthday?
June 6th.
Little Gemini. Eddie Albert, I love you. You are just the sweetest. You're like, isn't that amazing? He was born too. And that is why when I come in the room, I give him a coloring book. And if they do the number 7 first with green, I know that we're going to make a sale. Hi, I'm crazy. I'm a Cancer. I was making fun of your friend.
When did you know that you found success in comedy? Or do you feel you have yet?
Well, I mean, success is very relative. Like I'm one of those comedians who I don't like. I mean, I opened for Bill Cosby and played for 40,000 people. I think this Comedy Zone is a perfect room. Comedy is a low ceiling, intimate sport that cannot be translated to anything. It happens this one time with this group of people. What's going to come out of it? You will never be able to explain. Like if you died laughing over something, it's never going to be as funny. It's a live art form.
Yep. That
it's fun to do a special, but even when you've killed on a special and you watch it, it does not capture what was there. So it's just like human connection. It's like a really fun thing for me.
Is that an addiction to you, to have that human connection?
Well, human connection is an addiction. Otherwise, it'd be like, alone building a bomb in the woods. But
we do that in Montana.
Yeah, I know you do. But your hair looks so much better up close. No, if I have that need, yeah, I think that if it's something I can offer, I think nobody's if everybody leaves at the end of the show and they're happier, then it's pretty simple. I don't need I've had a lot of success. I'm not looking for some giant thing at this point. Whatever I do, I'm quite happy to do.
Where do you make your home these days? You're not out in L.A., are you?
No, I hate Los Angeles. I really do.
Just bad food.
It's a sticky place.
It's not. No, it's that. First of all, I can't merge. So I'm in my. I have to leave my house in the lane that I want to end up in. I cannot merge. You can't get on a highway. You will go on the exit line, whatever thing. I can't merge, and I feel like a giant. I don't know. I just don't like that city. It makes me feel bad.
So will you please go back and replace Nicki Minaj on American Idol?
Nicki Minaj is quite a creature, isn't she? She is just amazing. I love that she says she doesn't wear wigs. I'm like, really? That's like people who say they don't go to self-tanning booths and they live in Canada and it's like February and they've got a huge tan. I'm like, really? Was it a snow blizzard that got you like that? It's so funny. You don't like Nicki Minaj?
No, I do. The Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey. Have you seen the show yet this year?
I love Mariah Carey. She and I have the same disease. We both appear fat no matter how thin we are.
Oh, my God.
We do. She can be the thinnest person in the world, but if you've got big boobs, you're never going to appear thin. Anyway. Sorry. I don't mean that meanly. I put her in there with me. It's a true story, so not being mean. Have I watched American Idol? No, I love The Voice.
The Voice, okay.
Yeah, do you watch that?
No. I can't get involved in 2 of them. So there's too much drama.
You've already emotionally committed. You have 127 people to report these things about.
No.
It could get up to 128. You'd be overwhelmed.
I could get one more because of The Voice. Have you ever thought about singing?
I can't sing a note. Really? I can't sing at all.
But you speak in tune.
I speak in tune? Mm-hmm. Never heard anyone say that
Is
to
that
me.
not my biggest speech in this room? You're speaking out of tune. You're speaking out of tune. No, you speak very well in tune.
You know what? I think you have the same thing I have. Like, people always say, what is comedy? Comedy is musical to me. It's very musical, and it's very, like, I'm good at helping other comedians or, like, someone learning because I know when there's too many words. Like, you know, it's like there's not the correct flow. I could help you. But I'm always giving, you know, unsolicited advice. I'm always like, do you want some unsolicited advice? And they're like, okay. But I've never heard that in tune. That's interesting. Can you sing?
I've attempted, but, you know, that auto-tune really helped me out a lot. It really did.
Now I realize who you are. You're Jennifer Lopez. That is why you look familiar. You are Jennifer Lopez. I know that cancer relationships never really end, so I have to break up with you now because I have to eat something.
Nice.
Thank you very, very much for chatting with me.
Thank you. Thank you.